Hello friends and welcome again. Now, when I'm coaching young fellows who are looking for a job and I'm coaching them how to get a job and how to ace an interview, I get asked this question a lot, which is, I don't have a lot of experience. I'm just coming out of college, or I've just done a couple of internships. And even on those internships, I didn't have a very huge portfolio of responsibilities. Like, my responsibilities were very limited, and the impact that I had during my internships or during my days in college were very limited. So whenever someone asks me tell me about a time in an interview question, which is tell me about a time when you led a project, or when you were innovative, when you drove productivity, how did you go about it? My actions were very simple as just creating a small Excel model, or as simple as just creating a small process of moving files from one folder to the other folder, or making something very silly, very simple, something which was costing some time, like very simple, and making it very easy. So making processes, making systems or tools, but on a very low scale, small scale. Now, when you're applying for a big job, big company, talking about such small changes or creating a small Excel formula or Excel tool, a VLOOKUP formula here and there, just doesn't sound big enough for you to really portray that you're someone who really deserves the job that you're applying for. So how do we go about that? Now, one call out before moving forward. In case you find any value from this video, I have two asks for you. One, press the like button, as this keeps me motivated. Second, press the subscribe button along with the bell icon so you get notified as soon as I put a new content on this channel. On this channel, I post content pertaining to financial and career success for early and mid-career professionals. By the way, most of you who come on my channel to view my videos do not follow. This holds me back from producing quality content. So if you want me to continue making quality content like this, please support me by subscribing. Other than that, you can also support me on patreon.com. I will leave the link to my Patreon page in the description of this video, or otherwise pressing the thanks button on the YouTube dashboard. Now let's get rolling back into the video. Here is the simple technique that you can use, which I will explain in this video. Now, the way the technique goes is based on a biblical story that I kind of usually share, which is about David and Goliath. So in case you know the story, very good. In case you don't know the story is that Goliath is this big guy, big monster, who comes and fights this tribe. And David is this young boy. He's a young boy and he's very weak and he's petite as well, but he's able to defeat the big monster. So when they come one to one and they fight with each other, this big monster Goliath is defeated by David. Now, the way David defeats Goliath is just by one shot. He has a slingshot. He uses the slingshot. He pulls the sling and he shoots the stone on Goliath's head, and Goliath just falls and dies and is finished. So the idea here is that Goliath, being such a big monster, gets killed by a boy who is petite, young, and who's weak just by a slingshot. Now, soon after that, David becomes a hero, especially for the side who were just expecting themselves to be crushed because there was Goliath on the other side, and they were like, this big monster will just kill everyone and will finish everyone and finish all our tribe, except that David was able to kill him. Now, David becomes a hero and is celebrated. Now, the reason David becomes a hero is not because he was able to use a slingshot. Using a slingshot to kill someone is very silly. The reason he became a hero was because he was able to kill a monster, a big guy. So, coming back to the interview question or the interview example or the video, which is, if you can present the context that you are trying to solve or the problem that you're trying to solve or act on very big, like Goliath, then any small action you do, even if it's as small as using a slingshot, makes you a hero. So, let's take an example. Let's say there is a certain task which is taking a lot of time. And you come in, you put a VLOOKUP formula or some formula in the Excel, and you're able to save some time with that task. Now, what you're doing is very silly. It's like small formula change here and there, which doesn't seem like a big change. It's just like having a slingshot. However, if you can present that what you were solving, that context was Goliath, was a big monster, then even that small act that you do will make you a hero in front of the interviewer. So you can go like, there was this task that the team was working on, or let's say there was this monthly closing or monthly task that the team had to deliver, and it would take 5 people to do it, and it will take like 5 hours each. So we were spending like 25 hours every month on this task. So I came in, I was able to create this formula, this tool, this system, this process, because of which we were able to reduce those 25 hours into 2 hours. Now suddenly you were able to solve a big issue, 25 hours of wastage, and you bring it down to 2 hours just by a small tool. Wow. So it doesn't matter how small your action was. If the context is bigger, you will come out to be a hero. Similarly, you can talk about certain way or certain process that the team was following and it was costing them, let's say, $500,000. Now you came in, you suggested a better way of doing it, a different tool, a different system, a different way of doing it, and suddenly you were able to bring down the cost from $500,000 to only $100,000. Now imagine 500 to 100. You solved such a big issue even with a small change here and there because you were able to solve the big issue, save big money. Now you are a hero because the context is big. There is a big cost involved. There is huge amount of resources involved. There is a huge amount of time which is involved or which is being costing the organization. Suddenly you come in, you create a small tool and you're able to solve it. Now, of course, what you may need to do is you may need to do some exaggeration here. So what I'm saying is don't underplay the context, overplay the context. So if the context is, let's say, 5 out of 10, present it to be 9 out of 10. Like it was a big deal, it was a big issue. And then with your small increment intervention, you were able to solve it. Similarly, let's take another example. Let's say in your college, you were assigned to arrange a particular event. You were given a certain budget, let's say $10,000 was your budget, and you were supposed to arrange the event in $10,000. You guys spent the budget, however, you were not able to ration any budget for the speaker because there were other costs that were involved, and you ended up spending all the budget, and now you have a budget spent and you don't have a speaker. Now, on any normal day, this is not a big deal. If you don't have a speaker, now on any normal day, this is not a big deal. If you don't have an expensive speaker, either you get a cheap speaker or you just get a speaker who can speak for free. Maybe some professor from some other college or university who can come in and just speak for free. Now you are someone who solves this issue, who solves the issue of speaker without spending a lot of money or by staying within the budget. Now you can do it by, let's say, just tapping into some of your friends or some of your resources, some of your connections and network, and finding a speaker. Not a big deal. You have a network, you find a speaker, you bring a speaker. Now this seems very small, very simple. However, if you build the context, now the context here is, or building of the context here would be that without the speaker, the event is a dead event. And there is no other way to get a speaker in your town because you have to pay significant amount to get a good speaker. And if you don't get a good speaker, it will be a dead event because historically, every year you guys have done that event, you had the best speaker in the town coming up and showing up. If you get an average or below average or non-relevant speaker, it will be a dead event and you are better off not doing the event altogether because the tickets won't sell at all. And you did some survey, you checked out and you figured out that the tickets won't sell because people won't be interested in listening to a speaker who's not relevant, who's not famous, and so on and so forth. So you make it big. That either it's the event which will happen with the speaker. If there's no speaker, there is no event. Now you come in, you sort out all your connections, you make a list of your networks, you find out which network, which people you can reach out to, then you divide the task among the team. All the team members reach out to their networks and then they figure out which are 3 or 4 speakers that you guys can call in without paying them a lot or giving them some different incentive so you can bring them in and then you're able to save the day. Now, if you make the context bigger, even if there is a small action that you're doing to save the day, you are a hero, my friend. Hopefully this video was helpful for you to now realize or be able to present yourself as a hero, even if your actions are very small. In case you like the video, I'm sure you'll find another video on my channel very useful where I talk about how you should go about introducing yourself. You can check out that video here. Other than that, there is another video where I talk about how you can control your nerves during an interview. You can check out that video here. Thank you.